Why do so many people stay stuck over 10% body fat? If it's not calories, cardio or carbohydrates, then what's holding you back? Well, in this video, I'm exposing the 5 biggest fitness lies keeping you stuck and revealing the truth behind them. And I'm ranking these lies using insights from some of YouTube's top creators. So you can finally break through and get lean without the gym bro routine. Now let's talk about Munir's fat loss master plan. He's got the science and the numbers for us, but we're ranking today's strategies from all the way at the bottom, that gym bro noise tier, to right at the top, the undeniable winners. So you know exactly what works and what does not. Okay Munir, what's the shredding plan?
So to go from 30% to 15% body fat, most people will have to lose 20% of their total body weight.
Hang on, what? I thought we were talking about hitting 10% body fat after dropping 20% from a starting point of 30%. Turns out we're actually dropping 20% to end up at 15% body fat instead. But why? Well, according to Munir, you inevitably lose muscle whilst losing fat, and that's where that 5% goes missing. But here's the thing. We know losing muscle whilst cutting fat is not inevitable. It's totally avoidable if you know what you're doing. In fact, in this study, participants were put on a 1,000 calorie protein sparing modified fast for 6 months and lost no muscle at all. Yeah, 0 muscle loss. So let's focus on what actually matters.
How long does it take to lose 20% of your body weight? Well, from research we know that you can sustainably lose between 0.5 to 1% of your body weight per week. So getting these results takes you anywhere between 20 to 40 weeks or 5 to 10 months.
5 to 10 months? And we're still not even at 10% body fat. That is just overly cautious, sugar-coated dieting hiding behind the term of long-term sustainability. And frankly, it's very outdated. Studies on aggressive diets as low as 800 calories per day completely smash that slow and sustainable myth about rapid fat loss. Because muscle loss? None. Hunger? Actually lower. Metabolic adaptation? Minimal because the deficit is shorter. Adherence? Way better because you're done faster. Weight regain? Exactly the same as slower dieting. That's right, in a 3-year randomized controlled trial comparing aggressive dieters to slow dieters, they found no difference at all in weight regain. So dragging out a painfully slow deficit for 40 weeks? Totally unnecessary. So let's step into the real world now. No one is sticking to Munir's plan of 40 weeks straight, but most people will not run an 800 calorie diet either. So how do you burn fat as fast as possible while building muscle and still live your life? The answer is alternate between periods of aggressive dieting and periods of strategic planned diet breaks where you eat at maintenance. This way you maximize results when your schedule allows it, and you make it sustainable by planning diet breaks during those busier times. But how do you calculate your maximum fat burn rate to determine what really is aggressive for you? Well, here's the math that matters. Even if we stick to conservative scientific estimates, your body can burn roughly 31 calories per pound of body fat per day. So for example, a 200-pound guy at 30% body fat has 60 pounds of body fat. That means he can burn 1,860 calories per day from body fat. And over a week, that is 13,020 calories, or 3.72 pounds of fat. And this conservative estimate is 2 to 3 times faster than Munir's suggestion. And if you're struggling to figure out what aggressive dieting is for you or how to schedule your diet breaks, I'm here to help. Just click on the Ask Coach Tim link below so you can message me directly with your biggest fitness question. I genuinely appreciate you taking the time to hang out here, and this is my way of giving back. So click the link below, leave me a message, and let's make this year the year that you finally hit your dream physique. Bottom line, just because you're in a bigger calorie deficit, it doesn't mean it's unsustainable physically or mentally. So it does not need to take 20 or 40 weeks. You can slash that timeline in half. And that's why Munir's slow approach, it goes straight into the gym bro noise tier. Before we get to Eric, here's something I bet you've heard nearly 1 million times before.
Calories in, calories out.
Yep, it's the golden mantra of fitness influencers. But now Eric's here to add some much needed nuance.
You're not going to get as lean even though the calories are the same, because your output side of the equation and your recovery side of the equation isn't going to be as effective as it would be on higher quality foods that you have good gut health, you have good sleep, you have good energy levels, you have good satiation.
Now, we've all heard the first law of thermodynamics being tossed around like gospel to explain calories. But here's the real question. Does your body actually treat all calories equally? Absolutely not. We are dynamic biological systems. So between the calories in and the calories calories out, there is a ton of stuff happening underneath the hood inside your meat suit. And to add on top of that, we're all massively genetically different. Just take elite athletes like Hunter McIntyre as an example. He eats 7,000 calories a day of McDonald's and cereal to fuel his workouts, and he still crushes it, becoming a Hyrox world champion. But for most of us, junk food just wrecks us. It destroys hunger regulation, it wrecks insulin sensitivity, it tanks mitochondrial health, and it drives inflammation through the roof. Sure, simplifying things to calories in versus calories out has some merit, but it's far from the full story. But here's the good news though, you don't need to overthink it. Just simply add some nuance with this hierarchy. Level 1, the foundation, calories. Calories matter, yes they're your baseline, but that's done. Level 2, macronutrient split. The ratio of protein, fats and carbs determines how your body utilizes those calories. And now level 3, food quality and physiological impact. And this is where Eric's insights shine, because food quality directly affects 1, allostatic load. This is your body's stress tolerance, which determines how much of the weight you lose is pure fat or a mix of fat and muscle. 2, muscle protein synthesis. Your body's ability to trigger anabolism, signaling it to build muscle and repair muscle effectively. 3, fat mobilization. Your body's ability to unlock and use stored body fat as a fuel source. 4, sleep quality. Essential for growth hormone release during sleep, making it critical for recovery and overall performance. 5, systemic inflammation. The foundation of a healthy hormone balance, giving you the energy and focus you need to crush your goals every day. Yes, of course, calories are important, but for those of us who are not part of the genetic elite, food quality matters just as much too. And that's why understanding the hidden flaws in calories in versus calories out, it gets a spot in the strong contender tier. Now we've got Tanner Shuck stepping into the ring, and he's got a bone to pick with the YouTube science crowd.
Science-based training's killing your gains.
But Tanner is not just stirring the pot here. He is a solid source of training education, so what's he really saying?
Well, that's a loaded question, because the term science-based can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. I only learned what science-based training really is after I made a few videos criticizing it and was then attacked in the comments. The truth is, everything's science.
And he clarifies with this.
Science is simply having a hypothesis, testing it, and evaluating the results.
It sounds simple, right? But what does it actually mean for your training in the real world? Let's say you're testing whether thrash metal at 190 beats per minute helps you lift more weight than lo-fi beats. You try it and boom, it works. And here's the crazy part. There's actual science to back that up. Research actually shows that music played at 120 beats per minute or more actually boosts workout performance by increasing motivation and distracting from discomfort. But Tanner's core message is this. You should not sit around waiting for a study to validate every detail of your plan. You see, people who love science and planning, they often fall into this perfectionist trap. They spend hours crafting elaborate plans and then constantly revising them on new insights that they hear. They never actually execute to 100%. There'll always be new discoveries. And if you're chasing perfection, you'll never take 100% action. Science is a tool, it is not gospel. Use it to guide your decisions, but do not let it paralyze you. Let's be real, science is not killing your gains. Overthinking and chasing perfection are. So don't let the pursuit of optimization ruin your progress. And that's why relying too heavily on the latest science, it falls squarely into the use with caution tier. Now let's talk about cardio. And here's Mind Pump Sal with his hot take.
Cardio does not send a muscle building signal. Cardio sends a build endurance signal, and it also burns a lot of calories during the time that you're spent doing it.
Alright, I'm sure we all agree on this. Cardio is not for building muscle. We do cardio to 1, take care of the most important muscle in our body, our heart, and 2, burn calories, get the blood flowing, and get those feel-good chemicals flowing through our body. So far so good, but Sal takes it a bit further.
The way your body adapts to it is by making you more efficient, giving you more endurance, but also making you more efficient with calorie burn. So you end up losing muscle.
Okay, let's unpack this. Yes, cardio builds efficiency, boosts endurance, and strengthens your heart. That is literally the point of cardiovascular fitness. But cardiovascular efficiency does not automatically mean losing muscle. The two are not mutually exclusive. In fact, studies actually show that combining moderate intensity cardio with resistance training equals more muscle retention. So there is no reason to fear a moderate amount of cardio. It will not kill your gains. But does Sal have a point here when it comes to weight loss?
So could you lose more weight on the scale? Total weight by doing cardio plus weights plus a deficit in calories? Yes. Will you lose more fat? No. Will you build muscle? Definitely not. So remember, the goal here is to build muscle and burn body fat at the same time. You don't want to do anything that could potentially get your body to pare muscle down.
Excuse me? Let's clear something up right now. Cardio is not the problem. Bad advice like this is. Because here's what cardio actually does for you. 1, cardio actually improves cellular metabolism. Staying sedentary, it wrecks your cellular health and your ability to deliver nutrients efficiently for muscle building. 2, cardio regulates appetite. appetite. Research shows that moderate intensity cardio actually reduces hunger because it regulates your hormones leptin and ghrelin. 3. Cardio boosts digestion. Fact is, better gut health equals better nutrient absorption. This means the amino acids that you eat from protein are more efficiently used for muscle protein synthesis. 4. Cardio supports mental health. There is massive amounts of evidence showing how cardio reduces stress, lowers anxiety, and improves mood all day long. And 5. Cardio just makes weight loss and weight management much more simple. You will not lose muscle from cardio unless you're doing extreme amounts. Cardio is not the villain, Sal is. Done right, cardio is a game changer for fat loss and overall health. So Sal's anti-cardio take, there's just nowhere to go apart from the gym bro noise tier. And if you're new here, my name is Tim. I'm a food scientist and personal trainer, now based in Austin, Texas. I specialize in helping guys hit 10% body fat without letting fitness take over their life. So subscribe for more, or if you're interested in one-to-one coaching from me, go to my website. Now it's my turn, and I've got a doozy for you here. A recent study took a look at the medical industry's attitude towards overweight and obese people. And guess what they blamed as the #1 reason for obesity? Lack of willpower. So in other words, the medical industry actually boiled it down to eat less and move more. Now, sure, it's true, but it kind of misses the big picture, and here's why. When I worked as a food sensory scientist, my job was to manipulate 2 key things in processed foods. 1, make the emotional connection irresistible. And 2, perfecting the bliss point that lights up all those reward centers in our brain. You see, back in the UK, I worked for Cadbury's chocolate, and on one project, chocolate buttons. You see, Cadbury's ensures that the exact same formula and the exact same melt profile go from their buttons all through to their adult chocolate bars. And why? Because chocolate buttons are what we give to kids. So when those kids grow up and they eat the same chocolate just in a different form, all those comforting feelings and brain signals come flooding back from childhood. And now the bliss point. My role was also to perfect every sensory detail, like the exact mouth coating time delay of the chocolate and the subtle brown fruit flavor notes that hit the back of the nose. Basically, my job was to make the food experience so unique and so irresistible that it overrides your brain's natural stop signals. You see, this is not just about telling people, put the chocolate bar down and run, fatty. Food companies have perfected hijacking that ancient part of the brain that overrides logic. Ultra-processed foods are literally engineered to override our biology and make us overeat. And what happens if we simply remove them? Well, surprise, we naturally lose weight. Check this out. Participants in this study were put in a controlled environment for a month. They could not leave the metabolic ward. And on average, participants in the processed food group ate 500 calories per day more than those in the unprocessed foods group. This study proves that the food, not the person, is the problem. Blaming obesity on laziness or lack of willpower, it just misses the mark. The problem, it runs deeper into our biology, our emotions, and the way that food companies hijack our brains. And that's why ditching the willpower myth and focusing on real food, it belongs in the undeniable winner tier. And for more coaching tips, watch my video here.